Vacation is off. Expect a visit from our lawyer, Dad announced at the family reunion. All because I refused to co-sign a $220,000 loan for my golden child sister's boutique. I didn't argue. I just nodded, turned away, and the next morning they woke up to frozen accounts. Vacation is off. Expect a visit from our lawyer. Dad's voice cut through the room like a knife. His glare was fixed on me, cold and unflinching. Around the table, forks paused midair, conversations died. Mom's gaze fell to her plate, pretending not to notice. Jenna, my sister, leaned back, her lips curling into a satisfied smile. All because I refused to co-sign a $220,000 loan for Jenna's latest brilliant venture, a boutique she insisted would finally make her independent. But I knew the truth. Jenna was the family's golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Every failed business, every maxed-out credit card, always someone else's problem. Always mine. Dad didn't ask. He demanded. Just sign it, Michael. Family supports each other. Not like this, I had said, keeping my voice steady. Silence. Then the storm. Dad's face turned red. After all we've done for you. Done for me. I almost laughed. I thought about the mortgage I covered for their house, the bills I paid when Jin's last business crashed, the endless emergencies that always seemed to become my problem. But I didn't list any of it. I just stood there silent. Jenna's eyes filled with tears instantly. A familiar performance. You never cared about me. You never supported me. And then Mom, always the quiet accomplice, mumbled, Michael, please? She's your sister. Of course she was. The sister who partied through college while I worked 2 jobs. The sister who crashed her car and I paid for repairs. The sister who took and took and took while I just gave. I looked at them. This family I had spent years trying to please, trying to support, and I finally saw it. They didn't see me as family. I was a wallet, a safety net. When Dad stood up at the reunion, his voice ringing out, Vacation is off. Expect a visit from our lawyer. It wasn't a shock. It was just the final act of a tired play. But I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just nodded, stood up, and walked out. And the next morning, they woke up to frozen accounts. But that was just the beginning. I thought freezing the accounts would be enough of a wake-up call. I was wrong. The first call came at 7:15 a.m., Dad's number. I let it ring. 10 seconds later, another call, then another. I turned off my phone, tossed it on the kitchen counter, and poured myself a cup of coffee. I was done running to fix their messes. At 8 a.m., my work email lit up. An email from Mom. Subject line, how could you? I opened it out of morbid curiosity.
Michael, please. This is a misunderstanding. Your father is upset, but we can fix this. Just call us. Please, fix this.
That's what I always did, wasn't it? I closed the email without replying. By noon, they were desperate. Another email, this time from Jenna. You've ruined everything. My boutique is dead because of you. They won't even let me touch the money. I smiled, sipped my coffee.
No, Jenna. Your boutique was dead because it was always a fantasy. Just like every other scheme you dreamed up while I paid the bills.
But it didn't stop. At 3 p.m., Dad texted. I don't know what you did, but undo it now or you'll see the consequences. By evening, the family group chat was a battlefield. Mom, Michael, please talk to us. Jenna, he's a traitor. He's always hated me. Dad, you've crossed a line, boy. This is family. Family? They had no idea what that word meant. At 7 p.m., I heard a loud banging on my front door. 3 solid knocks. I didn't even have to look through the peephole. I knew it was them. I opened the door, and there they stood. Dad's face twisted with rage, Mom's eyes already wet with tears. And Jenna. Her mascara smudged, looking like she'd been dragged here kicking and screaming. You've gone too far, Dad shouted, pushing past me into the living room. Mom? I started, but she shook her head.
Please, Michael, just fix this.
Fix what? I snapped. I just stopped letting you use me. Jenna's voice shot through the room like a bullet. You ruined everything. I needed that money.
No,
I said, my voice cold. You wanted that money. There's a difference. Michael, we're family! Dad roared, slamming his fist on my kitchen counter. Family doesn't do this to each other. I laughed. I actually laughed. Family? You dragged me here to fix your problems. And now that I said no, I'm not family. Stop being so dramatic, Jenna screeched. I'm your sister! A sister who has taken thousands from me. A father who turned me into his personal bank. A mother who only speaks when she wants to guilt me.
That's not family.
Dad's face went pale, then red. He stepped closer. So close I could smell the cheap whiskey on his breath. You have one chance. Unfreeze the accounts, or I hope you realize the impact of your actions.
Or what?
I whispered, leaning in. You'll threaten me. You'll take more. What's left to take, Dad? My savings, my sanity? No, not anymore. I pulled out my phone, opened the banking app, and turned the screen toward them. The frozen accounts, the emergency funds Jenna thought she'd use. All locked. If you believe I owe you, we can resolve this legally. That's what you threatened, isn't it? Dad's mouth opened, then closed, then opened again, but nothing came out. Jenna's voice cracked. I told you he never cared. I told you. But I wasn't done. I walked to my desk, opened a drawer, and pulled out a folder. You want to know how much I've done for this family? Let's start with the mortgage. I slapped down a printout. The electric bills, that was me. Internet, groceries, car payments for you, Jenna. All me. Dad's face drained of color. You're lying. Am I? I tossed down another stack. Printouts of transactions, transfers, screenshots of Jenna's endless requests for a little extra because she was trying so hard.
Michael, please,
Mom whispered. I'm done being your safety net. I'm done being the one you call when your lies fall apart. I have my own life, and from now on, that's all I'm going to focus on. I walked to the door, opened it. Get out! Dad's face twisted with anger, but he stopped himself, his fist clenching by his side. He froze, a split-second decision flashing across his eyes. Maybe he remembered that without me, his house of cards crumbled. Maybe he realized that I wasn't bluffing. Michael, please, we can talk. Mom tried again, but I didn't budge. Get out. They left, slamming the door so hard the picture frame shook. I stood there listening to their voices fading down the hallway. Jenna's sobs, Dad's angry muttering, Mom's helpless whispers. I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel all free. Not yet. But I would, because this was just the beginning. The day of the family dinner, I wasn't sure if they would even show up, but I made sure I was ready. I didn't dress up, just jeans and a black t-shirt. But I had something else prepared. Something they wouldn't see coming. At exactly 6 p.m., there was a knock on the door. I opened it to find them. Dad, Mom, and Jenna, standing like a united front. Dad's jaw was clenched so hard I thought his teeth would crack. We're here to sort this out like adults, he grumbled, pushing his way inside without an invitation. Mom followed, wringing her hands, her eyes pleading without a word. Jenna stormed in last, arms crossed, eyes red and furious. Sit down, I said, closing the door. They didn't argue. Dad slumped into the armchair like he owned it. Jenna and Mom took the couch. Michael, Dad began, his voice trying to sound calm but cracking underneath. We are willing to forget all this if you just fix what you did, reopen the accounts, help your sister with her boutique. Let's be a family again. A family? I laughed. Is that what you call this? The constant taking. The guilt. The manipulation. Stop making this dramatic, Jenna snapped. You're the one ruining everything. No, Jenna, I'm just finally telling the truth. Her eyes widened. What truth? The truth you hide behind. The truth you spin whenever you cry and run to Daddy. I leaned forward, pulling out my phone. I thought you might say that, so I came prepared. I tapped the screen and a recording played. Jenna's voice loud and clear. He's just an ATM. He doesn't matter. I can always make him pay. He'll do it or I'll make Dad force him. Jenna's face turned white. That's fake, she screeched. But even Mom's eyes widened. Dad, shut up. Turn that off. No, I said, cold and calm. You're going to hear everything. I played the next recording. A call between Dad and Jenna. Just pressure him. You always make him feel guilty. He'll sign. He has to. We're family. Dad's face turned red. Where did you get that? Where do you think? Jenna's been so confident, so arrogant. She never thought I might keep records. But I did. Jenna's voice trembled. You're spying on me. You're insane. Insane? I repeated it, laughing. Let's talk about insane. I pulled out a stack of papers and dropped them on the coffee table. Credit card bills, medical bills, payments for the house you live in. All in my name, paid by me. Mom reached out, her hands shaking. Michael, please, please. What, pretend this didn't happen? Pretend you haven't used me for years? I leaned closer, my voice steady but sharp. No, tonight we face the truth. Dad's fists were trembling. You have no right. No right? I stood up, towering over them. Let me remind you, Dad. That house you live in, it's mine. My name on the mortgage, my money paying the bills. Dad's mouth opened, but nothing came out. I tried to help you. I tried to be a good son. But you made me your backup plan, your safety net, your punching bag. You ungrateful. He started, but I cut him off. Ungrateful. That's rich coming from you. I turned to Jenna. All your little business ideas, all your dreams. They were paid for with my money. Every last one. Jenna jumped to her feet. You just want to ruin me. You've always hated me. No, Jenna, I've always saved you. But not anymore. I opened the next file. Here's the paperwork for the car you drive. The one I co-signed for. It's being repossessed next week. And the house? I've already stopped the automatic payments. You have 30 days to figure it out. Mom's voice cracked. Michael, please, we can fix this. No, Mom. You can't. Because this was never about money. It's about the fact that I was never your son. I was your insurance policy. Dad stepped forward, anger in his eyes. Go ahead, say whatever you want. It won't change anything. His hand hovered, then fell. He staggered back, eyes wild. You think you're so smart, you think you're better than us? No, I said cold and steady, but I'm free. I walked to the door, opened it. Get out. They hesitated. For once, they had nothing to say, nothing to demand. They shuffled out, Mom crying, Jenna cursing, Dad glaring like a wounded animal. But before the door could close, I heard him snarl. "You'll regret this. You think you can just walk away? You don't know what family means." "Oh, I know exactly what it means to you," I said, locking the door. I turned back to the empty living room, the echo of their anger still lingering. But something felt different. The weight I had carried for years was gone. They thought this was over. They thought I would come crawling back. But they were wrong. Because I wasn't just walking away, I was ready to reclaim my life. I didn't wait. The moment the door slammed behind them, I sat down at my laptop and began. First, a social media post. No sub-story, no plea for sympathy. Just the cold, brutal truth. Screenshots of payment receipts. Messages from Jenna demanding money. Audio clips of her calling me an ATM. Dad saying I owed them because family. I captioned it simply. This is what family looks like when you're nothing but a safety net. I hit post, made myself a coffee, and watched as notifications began flooding in. Comments, messages, reactions. Support poured in faster than I expected. But it wasn't long before they reacted. Mom was first. Her post appeared within an hour. Families shouldn't destroy each other. Michael is lying. We've always supported him. Lying? I smirked. Hit reply. Supported me. Here are the bills I paid for your house, the debts I cleared for Jenna, the hundreds of dollars drained from my account. Shall I share the voice recordings too? Her post disappeared 10 minutes later, but I didn't stop. I sent an official letter to the bank removing my name from the mortgage on their house. The utilities still registered under my name were disconnected. Let them figure it out. Next was Jenna, the car I co-signed for her, the one she paraded around town like a trophy. It was repossessed within 2 days. She tried to post a tearful story on Instagram. When your own family betrays you. But sympathy didn't flood in like she hoped. Instead, people started asking questions. I didn't have to answer. My post had already told them everything. But I wasn't done. I arranged an interview with a local podcast. Anonymous but detailed. I didn't name them. I didn't need to. The story was clear. A family that saw me as a walking wallet. A sister who played the victim. Parents who knew how to manipulate. The episode went viral. Suddenly, people were reaching out, sharing their own stories. My family's response was predictable. They went on the offensive. A week later, I got a letter from a local lawyer, a cease and desist, accusing me of defamation, of ruining the family's reputation. I laughed. My lawyer, an old friend, replied within 24 hours. Be advised that any lawsuit will result in full public disclosure of all evidence, including financial records, audio recordings, and messages. Proceed at your own risk. Silence. Mom tried again. Another post. I don't recognize my own son. How could he do this to us? But people had seen enough. Her friends commented, maybe look in the mirror. That was just the beginning. A week later, I received an email from the bank. Your family has failed to meet the financial requirements for the mortgage. Foreclosure proceedings will begin shortly. Jenna's boutique never even launched. Her Instagram went dark, her online store closed. She tried to salvage her reputation, but I had already burned it to the ground. Dad's social circle turned on him. People whispered, his proud reputation, the self-made man. Nothing but a lie now laid bare. And I just watched it all fall apart. Messages poured in. Strangers offering support, clients reaching out, people sharing their own stories of betrayal. For the first time, I didn't feel alone. In my new apartment, clean, quiet mine, I sipped coffee each morning, watching sunlight slice through the blinds. No yelling, no demands, no you owe us. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Jenna. Are you happy now? You destroyed our family. I hope it was worth it. I smiled, typed a reply. Happy, happier than ever. And this is just the beginning. 2 weeks after the storm, I thought I'd seen it all. But then came the email. A desperate, rambling message from Dad. Michael, please! You've made your point. We're losing the house. Your sister is falling apart. People won't even talk to us anymore. Is this what you wanted? Destroy your own family. Destroy! I laughed. They'd done that themselves, but I didn't reply. An hour later, a notification popped up. A new post on Facebook. Mom playing the victim again. Family is supposed to forgive. We tried our best, but some people just want to hurt others. I screenshotted it, rolled my eyes, and went back to my coffee. But then the comments caught my attention. Not sympathy, not this time. Weren't you the ones who used him? If he's lying, why are there so many receipts? We always knew something was off with your family. They were getting torn apart publicly. Then Jenna tried to fight back. She made a tearful video. Mascara smudged, voice cracking. My brother is destroying my life. He's lying. He's manipulating everyone. But she forgot something. I never stopped recording. I posted a clip beneath her video. Her voice crystal clear. He's just an ATM. He'll pay. He always does. The comments under her video turned vicious. People called her a liar, a manipulator. Within hours, her profile vanished. Deleted. But the final blow came when I got a call from Grandpa, Dad's own father, a man who never took sides, who stayed quiet even when he saw the worst. I heard what happened. Michael, come over. Let's talk. When I arrived, he didn't waste time. He handed me an envelope, a legal document. I've changed the trust, Grandpa said, his voice steady. The house they live in, it was never fully theirs. It's in my name, and now it's yours. I stared at him, stunned. Yeah, they lied to you, used you, made you feel like you owed them. I've watched it long enough. Now it's over. A week later, a legal notice arrived at my parents' house. They had 30 days to vacate. Mom called, hysterical. Michael, you can't do this. We have nowhere to go. Dad grabbed the phone. You've changed. I don't recognize you anymore. This is your family. No, I said, voice calm. Family's supposed to support each other, but you only saw me as a safety net. That ends now. They tried everything. Calls, texts, even showing up at my door. I didn't answer. I didn't even watch as they packed up their lives and left. A month later, I stood in front of their empty house. No lights, no laughter, just silence. My house now. Cleaned, renovated, repainted. A fresh start. My phone buzzed. Another message from Jenna, but this time just 2 words. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. I didn't even open it. I walked away. Sunlight warming my face, leaving the ashes of that life behind me. For the first time, I was free.